know what I'm saying? I go on vacation here in Sanford, and the whole place just goes to, hey, Mia.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss Woke? I tagged you in the video because we get ready to go. How you been?
Okay.
How you?
I'm doing good.
You ready to
I'm
rock and
having some
roll?
issues, I think, with my sound, so
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to
What's
get
up,
that
Pedro?
fixed real quick.
Okay.
Let's see.
And see.
But anyway,
This-
can
this
you
co-
hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you just fine. This computer must be on like Windows 95 because it's like taking 5 to 10 minutes to reboot. And let's go ahead and get started today because, ain't no, like I said, don't know one monkey stop the show. So we get ready to go and just.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that was racist, but anyway, you gotta go ahead and start the show today.
Right.
Hey, how you doing? Of course, you guys, this is Diggy the Django. We are here again with a don't want to get rid of Summer Friday. What's going on with the weather, bro? I was on vacation. I heard it was cool last week. I come back here now. It's like devil's heat. What's going on with that? Huh?
Raining a lot.
It was raining a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How was Jamaica?
So,
Yeah,
all right,
I'm
I'm having some technical issues right now, Django.
You having
I'm
technical
gonna
issues?
pause my live. I'm gonna hang up from you guys, and then I'm gonna rejoin. I gotta reboot my computer. Hopefully, we'll be straight. Okay.
You know what that was? That's that Trump when he wouldn't put that alert out. That's why
I
he
know.
he been messing with black folk today. See, that's what y'all don't understand. That's what he doing. So you go ahead and hang up. We gonna go ahead and get back. I'm gonna go ahead and do the intro because we get ready to go get into our topic. How about that?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you, love.
All right. Okay. So today we're gonna give Mia. You hear him call us back. We still got the computer up here rebooting on Windows 95. Hey, how you doing today, Head Sanford? What's going on with you, bro?
Great.
Okay. Did y'all have a great show last week?
Yeah, it was straight.
While I was on vacay? Y'all didn't burn the place down, I see. So, and I want to thank, of course, Theodis Thompson for coming in on the clutch for Django. I was out here on a beach somewhere, I think, rolling around in the sand like I was, hot and stuff. And, of course, who's up here on the wheels of steel with his computer still rebooting on Windows 95 is the angry black man who can't seem to get the computer to reboot. It is Dynamic Super Dave. How you doing there today, bro?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, better than the computer. I see. What's up with that? And of course, hey, what's up, Terry? And we are sitting up here today. We've got a great topic for you guys. And it looks like until Mia comes back on, or wherever she's at, we have a topic that only I can talk with the married person. And today's topic is marriage is not cracked up to what it used to be. So we just wanted to know, for those of you guys who are married, for those marriaged folks, would you come and talk to us about why, in your opinion or in our opinion, that marriage is not cracked up to what it used to be? I think on these days, more and more people are starting to get married at a later and later age, or deciding not to do it at all. I don't know what's going on there. How you doing, Belinda? And we are going to sit up here and talk about that. But while we're waiting on Miss Woke, hey, what's up, Nikki G? While we're waiting on Miss Woke, let's talk with you, Head Sanford, because you're the only marriage person in the building, and I think Nikki G getting ready to get married in another couple of weeks, though.
Oh, really?
Her bae is undercover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just put her on blast. No, talk to us. You the married. What's up? Cut your chestnut.
I just think it's the person you chose. You have to choose wisely. I mean, that's the main point.
Let me tell you what Nikki G said. She said it's a business contract. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, the marriage license is. Yeah.
The marriage, yeah, technically it's a legally binding
Right.
business contract.
Yeah, the license is.
So, nigga, you gonna invite me to the wedding? I want to cater. Nah, you can go and cater because you got that good food coming out there. Hold on, I got one person coming on. Oh, this client want me to tag him, so I'm gonna tag him. And so, talk to us. So, not trying to put your business, but this is your second go around.
Yeah.
Where you kind of, oh my God, the computer has now rebooted. Super Dave. Well, we might get some music this time. In your opinion, do you think that people get shot a second time around and just do that? And Nikki G is saying some stay married because of money. That's what it is.
Some stay married because it's cost to get rid of the person. It's going to cost you, and you may have to start over on your own. A lot of times people splitting bills down the middle, so and it's just cheaper to stay.
Cheaper to keep her?
Yeah, in some instances, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I want to ask Nikki G because I think once upon a time. Used to be. Maybe talk to us. Is that what happened, nigga? Did you stay married because of money? We'll see if she gonna answer. So she wanna say something, pay married because of money.
Yeah, and some is just the convenience. I mean, you've been together so long, ain't no point in even.
Yeah,
You know.
kids.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids, grandkids.
Kids, people. So I think we've been socialized at a certain point
Yeah.
to just decide to go ahead and just be married. I mean, I think we grew up, believing in the fairy tale. You get age of 21, Cinderella, Prince Charming.
Yeah.
She said, "Hell nah, he was broke." How you been married from? He gonna go for the husband or ex-husband on blast. You're broke. The new baby, he gonna have some paper. I want to know, 'cause then that way I can go and take all them vacays together. Did around here, No, I mean, okay. Well, let's talk about that. We talk about for marriage, for monetary reasons. Since we say it's a contract, do you believe that when you get married, and so often we hear about this, with guys who sit around here and they believe that they should be provider and the protector of the family, is it gotten to a point now? What's up, Rod? Is that women have gotten to a point now that they feel that they have to either bring most to the table, or they are seeing men that don't have anything to bring to the table? And here's my thing: if you're sitting around here and you getting married, do you expect the person you with to bring something to the table, or do you marry for love?
Yeah, you need somebody to bring something to the table, cause
More than sex, right?
Yeah, yep,
What's up, Greg? More than sex.
yeah. They got to bring some experience to the table. They need to have some type of assets. They have to have this.
Credit
because,
check.
Yeah, y'all got to be on the same page financially, mentally, and spiritually. That's what I think.
Oh, spiritually. Oh,
Yeah,
wait a
never
minute.
work.
We gonna get you in church this weekend?
Yeah.
No.
'Cause if she want to go to church and she all into Jesus and I'm not, it's probably ain't gonna.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you about that. Hold on. Let's ask about that, because I'm
Right.
just curious. Hold on. We may have Mia. Do we have Mia? No, we don't have Mia yet. Mia, you hurry up and get back online, girl. So, look at it, Rodney, talking about some stable sex. Stable sex?
Yeah, sex too. I forgot to
That's
add
like
that.
horse and goat?
Yeah,
kinda
y'all got to be
going
on the
to
same
stable?
page sexually too. I forgot to add. That's the four things I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, cat people should marry cat people, and dog people should marry dog people. Wolf
Yeah.
people should marry wolf people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay. So you saying if you freaky and she not, then that's just not going to work.
Right. Some people gonna be dipping out. They ain't gonna work.
Sexual unsatisfaction.
Right.
Sexual unsatisfaction. I need you to call back, because I need to ask you some questions. He's talking about stable sex and consistency. Some people are consistently inconsistent. So, so let's talk about when we talk about consistency. A lot of people get married, and then how they always say, well, we had a lot of sex before we got married. Them heathens.
Yeah.
And then when we got married, we got put on the time schedule.
Yeah, it probably drops off when you get kids involved. I think it just depends on what stage of the marriage you're in. When you got
Of course,
small
you can't have the
kids,
kids watching
right,
you on top of mama.
right, and then a lot of responsibility, so the sex gonna decline. They say it comes back after the kids get older and be gone.
Hang on.
Hey, look who's here. It's Mia, Miss Walk. How you doing, darling?
I can't hear you. Hang on.
Oh, look at
I'm
this.
having all kind of problems.
We having Black Folks Radio today. What is going on with this here? How you doing, April?
Oh my God.
Somebody giving you a thumbs up. Is that working for you? Mia? Okay, she just gonna chime in when we get her in here. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
All right, I can hear you now.
Okay, now we got you. There we go. Well, I think I need to get credit on this radio today. Hey, how you doing, Mia?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. So we done already started without you.
Okay.
I've had to do that with my anyway. Hey, we doing it now. I done already started without you, darling. Anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about.
People gonna be pissed because I can't. People can't hear me on my computer, so I don't know what the problem is there.
Well, tag me on Facebook. That way they can see us both.
I don't know if I can be on Facebook Live and on Skype Live at the same time.
You should be, but You have to minimize your window. That's what I do. But anyway,
Okay, let's try.
let's
Go
try
ahead.
it. You ready? I'm gonna tag you. Oh, I'm gonna tag this clown. I don't want him on my page. Anyway, I'm gonna invite you. Now let's see what happens.
Okay.
All right. Now let's talk about. We were talking about sex and marriage, goats and wolves. No, we were talking about sex and marriage. Okay, that's what we were talking about. Hey, Nisha, that's what we were talking about today.
Okay.
So talk to us. Why are people waiting later and later, or just for going to get married? Have you been married before, Ms. Ward?
I have. I was married for 20 years.
How long?
20. 20.
20 years. What happened? You kill him? I mean, what? No.
No, you know,
I'm the only person that hasn't been married.
He and I both were mature enough to figure out that we had grown apart. We were better on our own,
Right.
and that we were better co-parents and better friends than we were husband and wife.
2 decades?
2 decades. Yep.
He must, and Ronnie talking about 26 here. Okay. All right. Well, some people making it work.
Yeah.
26
that's a
years.
long time.
That's a long time being married to the same old ball and chain.
That's another thing that's growing. 20-year plus divorces. 20-year plus
Yeah,
marriages.
yeah, and that's the thing
Uh-huh.
that the divorces become so easy.
Right.
I mean, even though it happened with my grandparents. Well, they didn't get divorced; they got separated, but they were together 40-some years.
Dang.
And I mean, today, I mean, the society is so different. People don't even stick it out anymore. Okay. So talk to us. What is the reason why? Are you planning to get married again, Miss Woke?
Well,
Uh-oh.
I mean, I don't have to get married. That's not important to me.
Oh.
It's not the most important thing.
Oh. You don't have to get married again.
No, I don't. Like, marriage is not the most important thing to me. It
Okay.
really isn't. I'm in a relationship, and
Uh-huh.
I'm happy with that, you know.
Oh, it's boots. Mm-hmm. Hey,
Yeah.
Flapjacks.
And I'm so sad I couldn't hear you guys earlier because I really don't know what all you kind of covered on it.
The sex
But what
part.
did you say about the history of marriage? Because I think that
Okay.
in order to have this conversation, you got to talk about why people get originally what marriage was about
Yeah.
versus what
Right.
it's about right now.
Okay. Hey, Sonia. Yeah, let's talk about that. Just the history of marriage traditionally throughout the ages of human existence.
Okay, so traditionally, it was about the transfer of property.
Exactly.
And so marriage wasn't about love really until the last, I don't know, probably the last
Day.
70 years, 78. It's a relatively new concept.
Day?
This thing is just about love. Because the main purpose for marriage was about the transfer of property, which is why you had dowries and things of that nature a guy would bring in order to be able to get the woman. And it was kind of an agreement between the families.
Right.
That was the concept of marriage. And it probably was an easier concept when it was truly about the concept of marriage when it was about the concept of business, because business lacks emotion.
Right.
And so if you don't have any emotional links into it that way,
Right.
it doesn't become as treacherous as it can be when you enter love that's so fickle into a business agreement.
Exactly. It's so fickle. Yeah, and that's the thing. And women were considered property. They were considered. They were not considered really technically a mate. They had a job to do. I come up to a guy. Hey, I like your goats over there. You might.
Django, somebody asked me, do he really like goats?
Well, I mean, I messed around with a wolf or two in my day. But anyway, so what I'm saying, my son, his mom, for Lake. But anyway, so when we talk about that, and you're right, over the century, that's what it was about. It was just, community property, women get in there and be barefoot and pregnant, maybe some children's, so they can get up here and take on the family business of raising the goats and the sheep and the wolves. And then,
Right.
you say it was about love. I laughed at that part. I think I had to get a giggle on that one. I don't know in any. I mean, the church in recent years, of course, in the last 1,000 years, has made marriage about love and matrimony, but technically, marriage has always been a social contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been really technically a religious contract, at least not from the onset of human history. Okay, you know, women didn't even get to choose their mates. You know, back in the day, we just club them, drag them off into the cave. You know,
right? You had arranged marriages. You had
right.
marriages.
And today, that still goes on in a lot of countries. You still have arranged marriages.
Exactly. I mean, you still have polygamy, where you have a whole lot of people being married to each other.
Man, please. and I, you know, look, in Africa that still goes on. Polygamous marriages are still what they call. And here's this one. I'm sorry, they have a new term for everything. Polyamorous.
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
Polyamorous is about a relationship. So, two different things.
Okay, hold on. Nina, look, if you're going to sit around here and put a word out on my page, I need to know what it means. Agrarian. See, black folks always want to use big terms when they get on my page. You understand what I'm saying? That's a word that is big. You need to define that. Okay. So
polyamory?
Polyamorous?
Polyamory or polyamorous means that there are multiple people
bring a friend.
A relationship. They have, like, one man may have a girlfriend or multiple girlfriends, and girlfriends are girlfriends together, and or it may be multiple men, multiple women, but there's not really a marriage per se. It can be a man married and then having other women, but that's not to be confused with an open relationship, because an open relationship is not about relationships as much as it's about just having a sexual encounter with other people, and it's agreed upon by the people in the relationship. And then you have polyamorous, where everybody has a relationship with each other.
I mean,
and then you have an open relationship with the DADT, which means don't ask, don't tell. So it's open. So socially we're monogamous, but sexually we're polyamorous, or we date. We're open. We date outside of our relationship. But all of that is about, the only way that those could even begin to try to work is if you have a whole lot of transparency on the front end. And then you got good old-fashioned polygamy, which is something that
one goat a chicken,
country,
couple
but
wolves.
You can't kill in Utah that, and in many other parts of the world, polygamy is legal. So.
Hey, Queen V. Yeah, polygamy. Look, okay, bestiality. No, I mean, well, I'm just saying. You know, and that's a new and I mean, look, I don't even have an issue even with people choosing to be polyamorous. The problem I have with it is too much nonsense going on out here to be doing all of that.
Well, it's a lot of people that get back in the
swapping,
polyamory, whether they wanted to be polyamorous or not. And you just call that.
Some people just don't know how to. Some people don't know how to, and what people don't know how to do is stop calling me when I'm on the radio show. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just don't get it. You know that was somebody black, don't you? You know it was, don't you? You know that was somebody black. You know it. And they're going to have nerve to call me restricted like I'm not going to curse them out after the show is over with. But anyway.
Right.
Everybody always want to test my deaconess every time I want to just... let me say a Hail Mary because I'm... boy. Anyway. So, when we talk about polyamorous, and is that because people these days, when we talk about relationships, go ahead, Sanford, how you doing? It's liking on my page. When we talk about that, are we talking about just people nowadays that just in an open society, just becoming more and more commitment phobic? And here's more important. You think people who's not married at this point just a lost cause?
You know, I don't know if people are more commitment phobic,
right?
Or if people are more, I mean, the reasons why people I can tell you the reason why I got married when I did, other than the fact that I loved who I married at the time.
Right.
I just thought that's what you were supposed to do. I was really young, and he was too. I was 21, he was 23, but I thought that that's what you were supposed to do, to be, you know, that a grown up. So we got married. We had 3 kids.
Right.
And I didn't think of any other thing that you were supposed to do. It really didn't occur to me that you could just not get married, because most of the people in my family were, if they were in a relationship
Right.
with anybody for longer than 3 to 5 years.
Right.
And so I think that in the past, it's just been a level of expectation.
Right.
When you have women nowadays who understand that they can get
Something
pregnant
about-
later in life,
Right. Oh.
you have women who have careers,
No.
who are independent, and so they don't necessarily need to get married in order to have any type of financial stability. I think all of those things play into why marriage has taken a back seat, I think, to other types of relationships. But having said that, I don't think it's just that.
Right.
I think that when you're talking about different types of relationship models, whether it is, your regular monogamous relationship,
Yeah.
husband, wife, polyamorous,
Right.
polygamy, any of those type of relationship
Yeah.
models.
Polly want a cracker.
Or-
Yeah. All that good. Yeah.
Marriage.
Yeah. So well, thank you. Uh oh.
So,
I thought
it-
JC was
and I
coming to
think
cut
that's
us
a
off.
good thing. I think that it's good for you to say at the
Hey,
front
Jen.
end, hey, I'm not
Hey,
a
Rhonda.
monogamous person.
Yeah. Just say you're not. Okay.
Just
Right.
say you're not.
Yeah, just say you're not a monogamous. That's a hard word, I don't think I had. Lala, you just broke up with your boyfriend tree. Somebody getting ready to get her. Cause she a wild girl. But anyway, so when we talk about,
You think that monogamy is
yeah, huh?
If you heard you heard what I said.
No, you cut out there that last part. What happened now? Say that one more again.
I said
Mm-hmm.
you believe that monogamy is natural.
Mm-hmm. Actually, human history has never dictated that monogamy is natural.
I don't. I
You
don't
had
think it's,
Sanford, do you think monogamy is a natural thing?
nah, I don't.
Well, we all agree.
So we swinging now? Then? We all swinging? Is that what we doing?
No.
We
And
swinging?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
Oh.
that.
Oh.
What I'm saying is it's a choice,
Right.
just like anything else.
Oh, okay. No,
But I think people default to monogamy. So if you start a
Right.
relationship somewhere, our default setting is this is a monogamous relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of defaulting that way, perhaps we should have a conversation and say, is that what you want? Do you want a monogamous relationship, or do you want something else?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that's the issue when we talk about people are not getting married. And I mean, in relationships and proceeding to marriage, is that nothing is always at the same point it always need to be. I mean, come on. I mean, no two things are always going to be right in two people's lives to decide to push forward to marriage. I mean, you're single, they a raccoon. I mean, they like dogs, you like cats. You got A and B and not C, and they got A and C and not B. And you're right. I think with the same thing with marriage is that nothing is always going to be. I think people have to make a choice to make things work. So let's just go here, because I'm going to put this out here. I'm going to see watch me stir up the hornet's nest right now. Y'all ready? Here we go. Women choose how they date. Men choose how they marry. So I changed my mind. Let's argue. Who want to challenge that? Do you believe in that?
Give me that one more time.
I said women choose how they date. Men choose how they marry.
Do you want me to disagree, even if I
No,
agree?
no. Do you? Well, if you agree,
I-
no. You don't have to. We don't have to assume that I'm right. This is always assuming. Okay, we don't have to tell me I'm right. This is always assuming that most
I
of the time.
would agree.
Okay,
I would agree with that. Yeah.
you would agree. What about you, Head Sanford?
Yeah, I pretty much agree because I think men run the marriage market. It's far more women that want to be married than men. So
But let me ask you a question. You've ever seen this situation? Now, here's the funny part, and see, this is where women shoot themselves in the foot. Oh, yeah, you got these out here that they feed men bricks. They like to date men. They like to run men. They like to play multiple men. They like to do all of that, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you something now. While women are sitting around here running the dating market, and dating multiple men, and we ain't putting a name on what we got, and I'm single, like somebody just said on my page. I'm not going to call them out, what we're going to do is that if you think that you're running the ultimate show, you're not, because if a man doesn't not want to marry you, he will be in a relationship with you with benefits for years and not marry you.
Well, I think women control the sex part of the relationship. They control the sex. Men
think so?
control the relationship and
They control the sex. The only sex they control is the sex they have inside that relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all.
Because you can decide you will stop having sex with me if you want to.
It's more
fatal.
It's more men looking for sex than women looking. So so women run the sex. It's easier for women to get sex than men. So they control that part of it.
Well, because men are hunters. That's natural.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen some greasy chicken? Anyway,
Wrong.
What?
What we wrong about?
What we wrong?
You wrong on every single count of that.
She said I was wrong on every single. Okay. Well, I defer to your wisdom, darling. Go ahead.
Well, in my opinion, you're wrong. So, you said that it's easier for a woman to get sex than it is for a man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily believe that.
You don't think men are out here looking for women to sleep with?
I think that it is just as difficult for a woman to get the sex she wants as it is for a man to get the sex that he wants.
We don't care about the sex we want. We just want the sex.
Exactly.
What you doing with the sex we want?
Linda, listen. The only difference is if you are out there hunting and trying to get your freak on, nobody's going to think of you as a whore. But if a woman is out there trying to do the same thing, that's how they think of her.
You don't know some of the women I know because
it's a much different dynamic for a woman.
No, man, I have to disagree with you. I have female friends who I used to invite to my dinner parties, and they will tell you in a heartbeat. You ought to see the way they talk about dudes who are out here in these streets. They'll tell you, oh, that dude, he ain't about da-da-da. He ain't this. And they will brag about his package. They will do all that, but they'll say, girl, that dude ain't worth boom. He ain't about this. He ain't about that. But woo, he could. So my thing, I've heard him say it right from like, okay. So I'm listening. I'm like, okay.
A relationship with a hookup. Those are two different things. So if a woman wants to just have a hookup with somebody and think that, and then she continues to have hookups with different people, she is looked at differently than a man is. You can't play like that. They're not. It's not right. But that's just the reality that we're in. Nobody is gonna judge you on your sexual prowess and whether you slept with a whole bunch of people before they determine whether they're gonna say yes to the dress or not. That's not where that
yes
falls.
To the dress.
It's just not.
Well,
just.
If she got a good grade of fur, I might, it depends. But look, and let's just be real. And I'm gonna say this for these sisters. See, here we go again. No, I don't want to buy. What is this?
You know what?
Somebody want me to buy something. Get off my phone.
In Little Rock.
Yeah. So okay. And here's the thing, and I think women need to be more discerning. Men need to be more discerning. So let's just go here. Let's go here. You should. Does body count matter before you decide to say I do?
Yeah, if they got a lot of kids. It matters.
No, that's not fair. Because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
There's some females out here. Look here, they like Little Caesars. They hot and ready, and they have no children to show for it. Don't fall for that. Oh, if she got a lot of kids. A lot of kids is just evidence of her escapades. There's some chicks out here using some hell of a birth control. They'd have been to every abortion clinic in Little Rock. So don't fall for that.
Yeah.
So, but does it matter? Does the body
What
count
you mean
matter?
doesn't matter? Yes.
I think.
Okay. I don't think that it should necessarily. Would you rather have somebody who has been with a lot of people, therefore they have a lot of experience, or would you rather be with a prude that don't have any?
Well, hold on.
It depends on.
Okay, with either one,
What you mean?
depends on preferences.
Hold on. So you saying hold on? Because hands up, I know you.
It depends on how many people and where they had their experiences.
Right.
Like in Little Rock.
If you didn't
Little Rock is too small for to be.
Right. If you didn't had your experience over here at the dormitories up in Eula, I don't need to be fooling with you. So.
But why do you have? I don't know. Like the conversation to me is, can I have your medical screening? Can I see the receipts that you clean before we go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the conversation, not how many people you slept with. I don't care. As long as you practice safe sex and you're keeping me in a safe place.
Safe
in terms
sex?
of
That's like an
bringing-
oxymoron in a polyamorous society.
I don't care about that.
Okay, so hold on, Ms. Wolk. So let me ask you a question. Let me tell you how men do it, and we may be a little facetious about it. We're talking about marriage, Karen. We may be a little facetious and a little shallow about it. Men do not want to marry the woman that is one readily available and then been with 15 different people. We don't. Now, don't get me wrong. I have had some females that have fooled me. Okay, I have met some females I did not know, and when you don't know them, you kind of take a and then there are two different times where it's gonna come out during the breakup, or you're gonna get little hints during the course of your relationship. The female that knows every guy, and then you want to figure out how she know him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you know in a biblical way.
yeah, that's my play cousin. That's my church brother. And really now. So my thing is, and look, for females, I think it should be the same way. I mean, and it's not because we're holding people accountable for everything they've done in their past. I think what we want to do is we want to make sure that the person that we're dating or we're meeting or we're looking to spend the rest of our life with has some sort of discernment about themselves.
Well, you should care about whether or not the person you're dating has good judgment.
Yeah, good judgment. I mean, look, if you want to be the Little Rock love machine, that's your business. But, I mean.
You're dating a woman who's never been married, and she's 45, 46
I don't
years
want
old.
to. I don't want to either.
You
I don't
should
want to.
be-
I don't want to either. Because she
It's
cray.
not 2 or 3 people, probably. If she's single and she's 45
And she probably done killed 2 of the 3.
and never been married, come on.
She done killed 2 of the 3. Go find out. Let me tell you something. One lady tried to holler at me like a while ago, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I was dating him." And I said, "Where your ex?" "Oh, he dead." "Whoop. Thank you, and I'll call you tomorrow." Block. He dead. I'm like, what? Yeah. My husband dead. Whoop. Okay. So my thing about it is that wait a minute. So y'all don't want the town, Karen. We don't want the town hall. And I'm sorry, young ladies, you should not want the town slaw either. No, you should not want them. And I'm like, look, and none of us born in a cave, and none of us, had a gilded relationship or upbringing. All of us have a couple of road miles on us. It's okay to have a couple of road miles.
Right.
It's not okay to have tire tracks, train tracks, airplane tire marks all over you. Okay? So you need to show, and here's the reason why I say that. And I'm not saying people don't, people change. Very rarely do people genuinely change. People just kind of slow down a little bit.
Well, they get tired. They won't.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like men, we get married because we just tired of running through the same. We just try to run through the same type of woman. So we just take the least crazy that we can deal with. And, well, I'm gonna marry her. She done wore me down. No, she didn't wear you down. Life wore you down. So now you just like, let me find some level of sanity in this craziness of crazy that I got and just go on and be with that. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me ask you this. I got a question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you feel like you want to be in a relationship with somebody who's submissive? And what does submissive look like?
Yeah. Submissive? Yeah. I mean.
Okay, so what is submission to you? How would you describe submission?
Tied hands or untied? Oh, I mean, what you. Okay. So.
What exactly is your definition?
What we're talking about, okay, we talking about sexually, or we talking about relationship status?
I'm talking about both.
Ooh, tied hands. Whips. Okay, so. Okay, so when we talk about submissive, let's talk about from the relationship status. Okay. From a relationship status, if a woman is submissive to me, one thing a man doesn't want. Okay, look, it's hard enough out here being a black man. So if we're gonna sit around here and you have to deal with the world that's coming at you 50 different ways, the last thing we want to do is have to come home and argue with our woman. Okay, we don't want to have to sit around here. Well, why you didn't call me today? You've been gone at work you worked 18 hours. Well, you couldn't take 5 minutes of them 18 hours to call me. Look, there's a whole lot of and look, men need to understand it for sisters too. As sisters, there's a lot in this world working against us. The last thing we need to do is come home and fight wars with the planet and wars with the world, and then come home and have to fight wars in our own house. There's some guys that just don't. They in relationships. They don't even want to go home. Now that's sad when you don't want to go home. You know why you don't want to go home? Because you don't want to have to deal with your woman's mouth. And it's like as soon as you walk in the door, she beats the pavement from the minute she gets up to the minute she goes to bed. So when I talk about submissive, we're talking about a woman who's not going to sit up and fight with you. Hey, hey, babe, today it look like it's sunny. Well, it's not really sunny. It's partly cloudy. Some people, it's like the glass is half full. Some people, the glass is always half empty to them. And they will butt heads with you on everything. It's the placation, the placated, you can't tell me nothing, the argumentative, the people I'm getting ready to curse out because they just keep calling my phone this time of day,
Why don't you put it on Do Not Disturb? I mean,
why don't I just throw it out the window? How about that?
Right.
Well, okay, so can I give my opinion on whether a woman should be submissive?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know that you have to be married in order to be submissive in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, to all of the women who are listening and all the women who may be on my live right now or on Django's live, I'll say you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't find that you can be submissive to the man you're in a relationship with, you're probably in the wrong relationship. If you are in a relationship with somebody that you don't trust their opinion, you don't trust their leadership,
Right.
you don't trust anything that they say, you have to debate every single thing
Right.
that they into the house, then you in the wrong relationship, baby girl. That's not your king. That's not the one for you.
Right.
Because your king, you would be submissive to. It shouldn't be that difficult for you. Now, that I said that,
Right.
let me step and say to these men out here, nobody wants to be led off a cliff. So please, please, please have your stuff together. Because if you find that every woman you're with won't be submissive, maybe it's because you are a weak man.
Oh, here we go with that again. No, maybe you just a man that just don't like to fight and argue for everything. And that's the point. I think women see men who don't want to fight with them as a sign of being a weak man.
No.
Oh, do y'all want them weak men that ain't gonna? Yes, baby. No, baby. Anything you want, baby. It's your world, baby.
I think it's about me trusting your leadership.
Right.
Like, I mean, come on now. It's not that I'm gonna agree with who I'm with on every single thing that comes up, because I don't agree with everything that he may have to say. But I should be able to be respectful enough to say how I feel without being disagreeable. And he should be able to give his opinion without being disagreeable. Don't talk to me like I don't know anything, because I have as much sense as you do. Just because I'm deferring to your opinion doesn't mean I don't have one. So just because a lot of times when people don't agree with you, you believe that means we're not listening to you.
Right.
I hear you, I just don't agree. And so I think that's the disconnect with a lot of relationships, because the first thing you said when I said that, you got defensive a little bit.
What you
said, no,
Did she just call me?
The thing I like to say is that we weak. No, what I'm saying is put some bass in your voice.
Oh.
And
so half Monk, half Ike Turner, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think with a lot of guys, if you're a natural leader, I mean, you can get a woman to be submissive easily, with your actions. So some guys, they just have problems, but maybe they not doing enough. They're not showing any leadership.
Anime, eat the cake.
Yeah.
That's all it is. When I'm coming to the house, anime, eat the cake.
They're not showing any leadership, and when they clashing with the woman all the time.
And they're not showing respect, because if you respect a woman,
Right,
it feels like you respect her opinion, and so she's much more likely to say what I believe what you have to say.
No, but understand that I can respect your opinion and still make the choice for the household as the head of the house.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's great. Oh, we got to take us a break. We got any trending today? You ain't trending today? You want to hit on this the whole period?
I'm tired of what actually is trending because I don't want to talk about Kavanaugh.
Yeah,
Not next
okay.
day.
Did y'all talk about him last week while I was on the beach?
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
Oh, Lord help. Okay, yep. Okay, so we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with this topic. Trust me, there's going to be some craziness next week. So we will be back un momento right here at the Devil's Advocates. Bye, folks.
Having issues with child support, traffic tickets, criminal matters, family, wills, estates, and probate matters? Call Jimmy C. Morris of the Morris Law Firm here in Little Rock, Arkansas, an aggressive powerhouse attorney that will fight for you. Call him 7 days a week from Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and from Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekend appointments are also available. And also, check out Jimmy Morris on The Devil's Advocate once a month for our infamous Ask the Attorney segment as he talks about social, political, and legal issues. Check him out, and his dedicated staff of professionals will fight for justice for you. Again, that's the Jimmy C. Morris Law Firm. His number is 501-319-7647. That's the Jimmy C. Morris Law Firm. His number is 501-319-7647. Call him.
Weddings, birthday parties, family reunions, or even a romantic dinner for two. Black Swan Catering can handle it all. Try our mouth-watering brisket, savory smoked chicken, scrumptious meals and appetizers, or tantalizing sweet treats. We'll customize any menu to suit your needs and guarantee a flavorful and festive event for you and your guests. Check us out at blackswancaterers.com or give us a call at 501-240.
That's my song, boy. Y'all gonna understand that today. Okay, we are back, folks. And I'm back here with Miss Woke and, of course, the man that grows no hair. Head Sanford. My Giants lost Sunday, bro. You might want to take that Eagles cap off on my show.
Yeah, my Eagles lost too. So
Did they?
Yeah.
Man, please, the Dallas cannot take the
I
conference.
thought she was supposed to be still boycotting the NFL.
Man, girl, bye. I'm gonna get my Giants to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, that.
Cause the Giants owner gets it.
I said if the players boycott, I'll boycott.
Can't stick to nothing.
Okay, well, look, they was hiring last week, but the Giants is the one team where their ownership gets it. And I'm not saying that there are other owners that don't get it,
Right.
but the Giants ownership was one of the first teams that came out saying that the players had the right to boycott. So I'm down with that. Guess whose team did not do it?
Who team?
The team that I hate with their passion. Them
Dallas.
girls.
Oh boy. God.
Jerry Jones and his bunch of slaves. Whoa! When in the cordon, he did ride it.
God.
Yeah.
Rambone.
Have a whole NFL discussion, but we ain't gonna do that today. I'm not even gonna.
You're not gonna do
But
it.
see, you gotta keep in mind that 60% of the revenues still go to the black players.
Right.
So, so you still pretty much supporting black players that are playing.
Whoa!
Now I said if they boycott, then I'll boycott.
Yeah, boycott.
Yeah.
heard that.
But I'm boycotting the Cowgirls permanently, eternally.
But I was boycotting them before I understood.
Thank you for they even.
And them or the Patriots.
Yeah.
But I'm in the
They got to play my Eagles. That's the only reason
Yeah.
they get some of my.
Well, my team already dropped the ball on them this year. A bunch of scrubs. But I'm in the cordon. He did ride it. Crambo.
Something on my page, Mike Burrows said the word submission shouldn't come into the conversation if a couple isn't working together as a team.
Let me tell you something. Because there was a girl that I had to kind of put in. I'm not gonna say put her in a place because I don't want to come off as sexist. But she started trying to come to me about well, he got to have him a X amount of credit score. I mean, this popped off about a week or so ago, and I had to kind of and here's the reason why I got a little upset about it. Not that I'm saying that again, we talked about bringing stuff to the table. All right, Drew, what's up, baby? When we talk about bringing stuff to the table, I understand that the fact that when you marry somebody, you're not going to marry somebody with a 300 credit rate and you got 850. Okay. But she was like, okay. But here was the problem I had. She's like, well, you up here marrying these dudes, he got to have the credit score 5 you consider him. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Back up, sister. Back up. And then when guys were talking about, we talked about, do relationships last or do relationships sink? Well, this is the reason why, because you coming in with broad expectations, but what do you bring to the table? I got my own car. I got my own job. Okay, well, great. Welcome to adulthood. Okay. So my question is, and I said, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to tell me you're trying to marry out of poverty. And the reason why she gave me the argument is because she was married to a guy that didn't have any of that. But I told her, I said, I'm not trying to be funny, but that was your choice to marry him. So if you went into it for 20 years and you realized he had nothing to offer you, then that was the choice you made. Now, I don't know if he was packing extra heavy and that made you lose sense of sensibility, but you chose to marry him, and then you went and allowed yourself to be, quote unquote, taken down through there, and now you want to sit around here and you man. I said, let me tell you something. Guys at our age, and I'm pushing 50 years old. We're professionals. I'm a professional. I've been in my career 12, 13 years now. Guys who are sitting on their own place, have their own vehicles. Their vehicles are paid off. Guys who had this stuff, they're not. I'm gonna be real with you. We're not looking for middle-aged women with 850s. We're looking for trophy wives like Trump. Okay, if you're looking for a guy he's making 7 figures, okay, and he's got an 850 credit rate and got a yacht, 2 houses, he ain't looking for a 40-year-old, a 45-year-old, a 50-year-old. Okay?
Well, then he's truly
he's looking for a 21-year-old.
Well, he's an idiot.
But that's what he's looking for. But how many?
Sound like you got a midlife crisis.
Exactly, because no grown man.
How many guys you know running around here with gray hair driving
that's an idiot.
driving Corvettes, GR1s? Because men we do kind of go through a midlife crisis around 35. But that's my point.
But a lot of those same guys that you talking about, they would have been married like 20, 30 years. They divorced the wife.
Right, they divorced the wife. Now they looking for a play doll. They looking for a trophy wife.
The play doll takes them through there. They lose a lot of money. I've seen this happen. Exactly. In my eyes.
Well, hold on. The woman that got it going on gonna take you through there too. Is she a businesswoman and she got it? She gonna take you through there too.
Okay, so to me, I think that what happens is in relationships, people don't marry who you really are. They marry who they think they can make you become.
Right.
And they marrying your representative. They're not marrying who the reality of you is. They want to bend and mold you because you have a little bit of what they want, and so that one little piece or 2 little things that they don't like, they feel like they can love you through it or make you change some sort of way.
I love goats.
Changing what you are is what
and
you
wolves, so it ain't gonna change. But anyway, Dave, you got something you want to say? I've been seeing you over there smirking. Okay.
And you have to be equally yoked. And equally yoked doesn't just mean do we believe the same thing spiritually. It means are we sexually compatible? Do we have the same libido?
You know what? You've been harping a lot on this sex thing.
Can we complement each other in terms of our employment or in terms of what I can give you? Can I give you something? Can you give me something?
Hold on. Mia, hold on 1 second.
And people coming together as opposed to 2 broken people trying to fix each other.
Okay. Right. Hold on, Mia, because I got to deal with somebody right quick. Okay, you called me 3 times. No, I do not want to buy sexual enhancements. Goodbye. Okay, now, let's go. Anyway, you see this? I mean, it's just retarded. Okay, so, and you're right, but you've been harping on this sex thing. I don't know.
Huh?
I think me and her boo be doing they might be doing some freaky stuff on their way down here to Little Rock. Wonder why his hand sticks to the wheel all the time when he driving down there.
Ain't this a Christian show?
Well, it was till we got on it. So.
Gospel Network.
Yeah, so.
You're so worried about what we got going on.
Yeah, they worry about, we up here talking about, all sorts of craziness. But my thing about it is, you're right. We talk about just being on one accord, not only just, financially, but we have to also be on one accord when we talk about our differences. Can we deal with our differences and still love each other? If we can't deal with that, it's boom, it's done. There's nothing else to talk about.
It is.
And that's the problem. Everybody wants to be married and in a relationship when it go great. But when you get them differences, can you still work it out? And can you still work it out without hating the person that you're working it out with?
Well, sometimes working it out is breaking up, and breaking up with mutual respect for each other. Because every relationship is going to end. It doesn't mean that it's going to end because y'all broke up. If you live and you get married to death do you part, the relationship ends. So what really speaks to your character is how you deal with that person when a relationship ends. If you dealing with somebody and they have nothing good to say about any of their exes, everybody was crazy, that should be a serious red flag for you, whether it's a man or a woman saying it. If nobody can say, you know what, because if somebody asks me about my ex-husband, I will say unequivocally, great guy, amazing dad, wasn't right for me. Simple as that. I have nothing bad to say about him.
I don't know.
I have nothing bad to say about any ex-boyfriend I had.
Really?
I've never encountered
Really?
doggish, no good, rotten kind of people. I don't bring them into my energy.
You don't bring them to energy.
Because a relationship ends doesn't mean that somebody was bad. It just means that you weren't the right fit, and that's all.
No, or it just means that the one person was bad in the story. So, like I said.
You the dude I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But we, as much as we try to be virtuous and say that, there are relationships where one person in that relationship is just generally a bad person. And we could talk about fits for us, not fits for us. They weren't really necessarily this. Some people go into relationships with agendas, period. And I'm not arguing that. Look, I've had, and how you know when that it's a difference between an agenda or just a bad fit is usually you can be friends with that person when it's over. It may take a minute. Y'all get over the initial anger, the initial hurt. You can be friends with that person later. If it gets to a point that y'all probably not going to ever never speak to each other again, that's probably because that person probably had an agenda when they came with you.
So I think that it's a matter of judgment. And I will defer to Cat Williams, who have been pissing everybody off here lately.
Yeah.
But when he said, if everybody you attract are some doggish people,
right,
then you to figure out what it is about you that keep on attracting them dogs.
Because you had an agenda too. You wanted to hit it, and you saw the crazy. Hold on, you saw the crazy, and you ignored the crazy. That's what it is. You knew it was crazy. You knew it was cray when you did it. But see, that's the beautiful thing about
like that kind of food.
Well,
it is.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about people that always defer to their own judgment. That's why we should always defer our judgment to a higher calling. We always defer to our judgment that, we gods and we can make good decisions. People ain't never made good decisions for themselves. People are always making bad decisions for themselves. And they always go into a relationship like, let me just say this and we're going to be finished this because I'm going to not put this person on blast here. I know a person that they good, they excellent. She fine, boy. Look, she fine. But she is bona fide cray-cray. And every guy that I think tried to holler at her know that she's cray-cray going into the cray-cray. And they figured they could just go and dip in and dip out and not have to deal with the cray-cray. And every time they run afoul of her or get up under her, the cray-cray come out. All over social media. Okay? So my thing about it is that that's the problem with people when we defer to our judgment. We think, it ain't going to happen to me. I can kind of dip in, dip out, and it's not going to be. No, trust me. Whenever you sit around here and you try to maneuver around the flames, you always get burned. You always get burned.
Well, and whenever you think you can change a person, you always get burned. Whatever you see right now, that's what it is. And if that's not cool with you, run. Run, Forrest, run. Because it's not going to get any better.
No, it's
just not going to get any better.
Well, it ain't going to get no nicer with this theme music with Dave telling us to get the hell up out of here. So we get ready to go. Thank you, Mia. We get ready to get a great topic for next week because we're getting closer to the election. Hopefully everything will change around. So I want to thank you, Mia, for doing it for us today.
Of course, my love.
All right. Thank you, Head Sanford.
All right.
We're going to go get us something to eat. I sure is hungry. And I want to thank you guys, of course, Dynamic Dave. Now it's time for Black Focus with him and my other homeboy that never grown no hair, Robert Webb. He over there sitting over there chilling. And I want to thank you guys. We'll see you again. Same bat time, same bat channel next Friday. And don't forget, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of Hell's Kitchen. Bye, folks.
Out.